Give it a second. So we are supposedly live.
It's so exciting.
With a bit of a delay.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good, Podfeet. How's your voice doing?
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
Marvelous.
I'm so sick of this. But Pat Dengler gave me a green screen.
Yeah, it looks kind of black.
Yeah, so this is with my camera rotated at an angle. If it's straight, it looks like this. So you can still see the pillow.
Oh, that kind of destroys the effect.
The illusion's a little bit, right?
Partial space.
So we'll go like that just for fun for this week. All right. Al says it's time for roll call. We have Mike and what?
Good job, Al.
We have Mike and Seamus and Kevin and Bruce and Frank and Mike again and Jill and Ed and Rose and Sandy and Steve and Michael, not to be confused with Mike and Mike. And we've got Al and Zoe brings bacon all the way from England.
Yes.
Feed in space.
Smells good.
Yeah, he said that you can't see the sausage grinder. Well, I could.
Not in space.
No.
In space, there is no sausage. Don't unveil the fourth wall.
How's that?
Right. It still barely shows. It's right above your head.
There. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. That's right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, the white one is there.
Corned beef.
This thing's really cool. You just pull it up and down. I was walking out of her house, and she had this big black thing leaning against beside the door. And I said, "What's that?" And she says, "It's a green screen. Want it?" Okay. I grabbed it and took it.
We lost your focus. Maybe you could work on that a little.
Ooh.
There we
I
go.
don't have control of that, Steve.
There we go. It was probably autofocus and just need to grab you. You weren't moving around enough.
That's really weird. All right. Well, we should probably start.
Oh, I didn't even have the chat room up. There's the chat room.
Shall we start?
I think we're ready. Is the chat room ready? I don't know. There's a lot of talk about corned beef and sausage and bacon. Okay. Sounds like they're ready.
You're not allowed to send me any more sausage grinders. I already have 2. That's enough. All right, Zoe's ready. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, March 5th, 2023, and this is show number 762. Well, next weekend is Steve and my 40th wedding anniversary. So we're sneaking off for a weekend of wine tasting with our dear friends Dean and Suzanne, whom we met when they crashed our romantic dinner for 2 in Sedona on our 20th anniversary. We won't be home on the weekend, so there will be no live show next week. Al, tell the chat room, no live show next week, March 12th. Now, to give my voice every chance to heal, it's quite likely that the show won't come out until Monday, March 13th. Don't panic. The show will go on.
Thank goodness.
Thank you. All right. Are you ready? Here's something exciting. 13th. Don't panic. The show will go on.
Hi, this is Allison's assistant, 11labs.io. As you can tell, Allison's voice took yet another turn for the worse. She asked me to tell you that we got some great listener content submitted this week, so she's going to hopefully move the content she had planned to next week so you don't have to listen to the gravel machine any more than necessary. We've got a segment of security bits too, so it's going to be a great show. We'll get to that content soon, but let's hear what she's been up to this week.
All right.
Wow. Who was that?
That was 11labs.io. Who was it who said I should use an AI to do my voice? They won.
It's, there are some similarities. It's, I don't know how to describe the differences. It's not as much intonation.
Right.
Maybe a little more. That's probably the best single description.
Yeah. That's all you're going to hear for the rest of the show. I am not speaking again.
From you, live.
Right.
But there will be your words.
Oh, and it is sort of like it's me. Right.
This week, I got to be on the Daily Tech News Show with Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane this week. I haven't been on the show in ages, but not for lack of Roger trying to book me. All the trips we've been on have really gotten in the way of my guest appearances. We had a blast doing the regular tech news, and then we talked a bit about my advice for tech on travel. Tom and Sarah and Roger have some bonus content they do for their patrons, which they call Good Day Internet. Normally, it's just a random discussion, but this week, Roger had a quiz for us, and it was absolute anarchy and hilarious. Tom would read a description of a movie that Roger had written, and the question for each movie was, what was the name of the computer? Sarah, Len Peralta, and I were the participants, and we barely got any right, even though we knew these movies really well. 4 of them Steve and I actually own, and I still didn't get any of them right. I'm not sure why it was so hilarious, but it really was fun. You can find this episode of the Daily Tech News Show at the link in the show notes of your podcatcher of choice.
Yeah, Seamus, it is usually about food, and I don't like talking about food that much, so I enjoyed this one even more.
Less about food.
Oh God, it was so funny. I couldn't quite get the AI to get it across how funny it was, but it was hysterical. We were dying. We were laughing so hard. And I had said earlier in the show, boost a toot. So whenever Len Peralta didn't know the answer to one of the quiz questions, he'd go, Len! And then when he'd get called on, he'd say, boost a toot. We just all bust up again. Oh yeah, Zoe was there. That was it. Wasn't that hilarious? I really enjoyed that. All right, let's check the gap here.
Of choice. This weekend, Barry Falk came to visit.
That's a little quick.
Catcher of choice. This weekend, Barry Falk came to visit Steve and me. Barry is a good friend of the Apple community and was instrumental in the event that is now known as MacStock. When Bart put out his call for panelists for this Let's Talk Apple podcast, I realized Barry had never been on the show before, so I invited Barry and me to be on this month's show. Bart and Barry had a great time together, and Bart hopes to include him in the regular rotation of guests. You can find this episode of Let's Talk Apple in your podcatcher of choice under LTA 114 or follow the link in the show notes.
I'm just not that interesting in this voice, right? Follow the link in the show notes. Say less. But it's better than listening to this, right?
Maybe because I've gotten used to that gravel voice over the past couple of weeks. I don't mind it. It just pains me a little bit to hear you talk that way, but not.
It's hard to push this much air out.
Yeah.
All right, you'll get used to it. I think. All right, it's time for chit chat. I had lots of little bits coming in today.
I didn't see the link go in. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I'm usually hanging out trying to outdo Zoe in the show titles. Impossible task. Yeah, absolutely. Like if I was doing a formal engineering presentation, that's right. It's not 11voice.ai. It's 11 Labs, and it's ELEVEN.
Follow the link in the show notes. Rod Simmons of the SMR podcast and Barbecue and Tech joins me to talk about password managers. After the recent breaches, and more importantly, breaches of trust from LastPass, Rod migrated over to 1Password and changed all 400 of his passwords. We talked through what LastPass did wrong and what Rod appreciates about 1Password and misses about LastPass. I found it a really interesting conversation about UI design, trust, and what makes an app feel right.
This is going to be a quick show.
I know, I'm getting it done. I feel like stepping in for a minute. I'm going to keep going with the AI voice because my voice is really painful to talk to you, but boy, am I enthusiastic in AI, aren't I? Okay. And now I'll do programming by stealth. Well, it shouldn't be going any faster, right? Right, Steve? It's reading everything I would have been reading.
Yeah, maybe because I don't know. It seems to be going faster. I'm not sure why.
Feels brisk, doesn't it? All right, let me see how that sounds.
And what makes an app feel right?
I'm going to keep going with the AI voice because my voice is really painful to talk to you, but boy, am I enthusiastic in AI, aren't I?
On Programming by Stealth, Bart continues our mini-series on shell scripting. He explains the simplicity of looping and the 4 types of loops, while, until, for, and select, along with the simple syntax of do, done within a loop. He walks us through a lot of examples that illustrate how each one of these loops works. He ends by giving us a challenge because teacher's pet Allison asked for homework last time. You can, as always, find Bart's fabulous tutorial show notes at the link in the show notes.
All right. All right. It's going to be a good one now. Now we've got Donna Campbell. Okay. Oh, I got to find Donna. Now listen to, here's a beautiful voice coming in. I got to think about whether I should introduce her at all. She does introduce herself, but it's sort of like I just skipped from being doing announcements to starting her.
So her intro isn't in the show notes, but maybe she just says it verbally.
Yeah, she says it. Well, let's see what you think about changing straight from this. I feel like I should set it up a little bit.
Tutorial show notes at the link in the show notes.
Hi, this is Donna from Southeast Michigan.
Yeah. I think I need to set it up.
Oh,
don't you?
I don't know. She gives her name and
yeah, but it's like I'm switching gears. Now let's get started with some listener content.
Gotcha.
Okay, enough of that. Let's get started with some actual listener content. Just a little bit better. There we go.
Tutorial show notes at the link in the show notes.
Okay, enough of that. Let's get started with some actual listener content.
Hi, this is Donna from Southeast Michigan. I noticed something new in iOS recently, and I shared it with Allison along with Dave and John at Mac Geek Gab, another great podcast. Allison asked if I would record this for the show so she could share it with her devoted followers. Here you go. I'm typically my mom's driver for doctor's appointments, but due to a broken shoulder, my husband has been helping out. I wanted to share contact info with him for one of her doctors so he could use maps, and I noticed something which is new, to me anyway, called Filter Fields. It shows up when you open the contact card, scroll toward the bottom, and touch Share Contact. This is great. When I only wanted to share someone's phone number or address before, I would copy and paste or send a screenshot. But now you can just uncheck anything that you don't want to include within a contact card and send only what you want to share. For example, you might not want to forward someone's contact photo, birth date, cell phone number, or their private email address. In many of my contacts, I have a lot in the notes section, and I've heard before that those do not transfer when you share a contact card. This doctor's contact didn't happen to have any notes, so I tried it with one that does, and notes didn't even show up as a filter option. I think that's probably a good idea to prevent accidentally sending private info. And here's a helpful tip I want to share. My mom sees a lot of doctors, and I can't always remember their names, so I enter mom after the doctor's last name and their specialty under company. I also enter mom on the contact cards for her insurance agent, accountant, attorney, pest control, snow removal, lawn care, and even a few of her neighbors. It makes finding their info so much easier. I hope some of you find this helpful. Thanks to Allison, Steve, and Bart for all their hard work. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and this is one of my favorites.
Now that's the way you sign off. I know, isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Just realized I didn't listen to it again, and so I didn't acknowledge that she said all those nice things.
Well, you could edit now.
Yeah, but the AI is supposed to talk next.
For her insurance agent, accountant, attorney.
Getting rid of a little bit of noise there. Okay. Okay, so thanks, Donna comes next. Let's see.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, and this is one of my favorites.
This is great, Donna. I wonder how long the filter fields dropdown has been hiding in plain sight. Donna wrote this tip up as a blog post as well, and she's got screenshots walking you through how to do it, along with a sweet photo of her husband escorting her mom away to a doctor's appointment. I hope all of you heal up quickly, and thanks so much for bringing us this useful tip.
I'm going to talk for a minute here. This is a real Allison checking in for just a moment. I did want to thank Donna for her kind words. The AI didn't think that was necessary, I guess, but that's very nice of you, Donna. I appreciate it. After Donna sent this in, I also gave her another tip that Lindsay gave me a long time ago, which was the idea of using emoji in your contacts, and that helps you be able to see visually the ones that you're looking for. So she now put stethoscopes next to all of the doctors that her mother goes to. So that was kind of another good visual aid. And in the live chat room, Mike, also known as Grumpy, suggested making a mom contact group and dragging all the ones in that are just for her mom. And that way she could see those contact groups. So that's another great tip. And I appreciate that, Mike.
I will add that if you put an emoji in, whenever Siri speaks the person's name, it will say out the emoji along with the name. So some emojis have complex descriptions.
Well, I do
some
like
are
it.
easy, like smiley face, but some have 3 or 4 word descriptions. So every time you hear, like, I think you have sunglasses on me, or what do you have?
I forget exactly what it says, but it does say sunglasses. Lindsay's, I know, because it says smiling face with halo emoji.
Right, Lindsay.
And Pat says Pat Dengler with laptop computer.
So it can get a little longer, but
yeah,
visually it's great.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I need to do a chapter mark for Bill. See, I'm getting lots of content in here. Let's see. No. Hate to think what yours is. Yeah. Okay. Bill has been really sick lately, you guys. I think he mentioned that in the Slack, and but he pumped out a review for us anyway. He's well enough that he's on the road to go visit somebody, so I think he's finally gotten better. All right. So that's another great tip, and I appreciate that, Mike.
For our second listener review, we'll be hearing from Bill Reveal. Bill is the guy who helped me migrate my entire web server, fix the plaguing encoding problems I had in the database, and in combination with efforts by Bart to make it as fast as it is now. I will be forever in Bill's debt for how stable and well-controlled podfeet.com is. If you appreciate that as much as I do, think of Bill every time it makes you happy. As if those contributions were not enough, Bill has a terrific review for us.
Greetings, Allison, Steve, and my fellow NosillaCast castaways. I'm kind of wondering if you even have to be able to pronounce NosillaCast castaways to be a NosillaCast castaway. Anyway, Bill here with too many problems to solve, but for one, I'm a grouchy, obstinate old geek that is headstrong when it comes to computers. As the old saying goes, I hate all computers. I just hate my Macintosh the least. Despite being a long-time user of Dropbox,
What happened?
I don't know.
What the heck?
I hate all computers. User of Dropbox.
Okay. The audio is there. You can see it.
Put your cursor a little farther out just to see if it'll play later. See if it stops. If that's so, from that point forward, it's muted for some reason.
That's really weird.
Huh.
I'm going to slide it down a track and see if it's something on the track.
Greetings, Alice. User of Dropbox.
Now, I did do a bunch of editing on this file, but we may have to...
It looks like a global mute. Put another track there of something else just to make sure it's not global. It's just
hang
that
on,
track.
Let me... Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with the original file. Let me just drag it in again, and then I'll try your idea. I did do a bunch of editing.
Saying goes, I hate being a long-time user of Dropbox. There's one thing I have always hated. Everything has to go
It's
into
fine.
that one silly Dropbox folder. iCloud has its own folder. OneDrive has its own folder. They force me to use their directory to use their syncing. My Dropbox folder is a real mess. I need a syncing solution that allows me to say, sync this directory, that directory, and another one on this computer, but over on that computer, those same directories can be anywhere I want them to be, even with different names. Furthermore, I have a folder I want to sync with my friend over there and no one else. Oh, wow. How about something really silly? And this really just happened. I want to synchronize a folder in Dropbox on my Mac with a folder in OneDrive on my friend's computer and a folder on a Linux server that doesn't have either. Ha! I need the power. Enter SyncThing at syncthing.net. SyncThing, in simple terms, is a private, secure, and free Dropbox limited only by the size of your hard drives. Its only downfall is it has no iOS capabilities directly, although that doesn't stop me. The SyncThing developers are very proud how SyncThing is very open, as in it is based on an open protocol. It is open source, available on GitHub, open and active development, and open to discussion regarding that development. Works on the Mac, Windows, Linux, several BSD flavors, and a couple others. On the Mac, there are two ways to install SyncThing. You can download a binary installer, which turns a mostly command line app into what looks like a native Mac app. You can also install it using Homebrew, but it isn't very Mac-like. I recommend the official binary installer found at GitHub. It just makes life easier. Once installed, most people configure it using the admin GUI, which runs on a built-in web server that was installed and launched by SyncThing. You access it using any browser located on the computer on which SyncThing is installed. If you use the binary installer on the Mac, it is as easy as selecting Open from the menu bar. You can also install it remotely, say on a Linux server like I did, using the command line. After installing, you make a couple configuration changes on the remote computer, primarily to give remote access to the admin GUI, after which you use a web browser to finish the configuration. But when working on Macs, or for Windows, I guess, the setup is mostly painless and obvious when you use the installer. It is important that I point out, because SyncThing has a lot of options and ways of doing things, some people find it intimidating. However, the documentation is well written and provides all the answers you need to get up and running. I found that I could quickly get two Macs syncing with each other within 10 to 15 minutes using the basic configuration and very little reading of the docs. Because of the way it works, I didn't have to worry about IP addresses. Each computer is given a SyncThing ID, which you use to connect the two, since part of SyncThing's protocols involves discovery servers and relay servers out there in the cloud, which makes connecting computers all over the place easy, and because everything is encrypted, secure. Once set up, it works just like Dropbox. If I do something on one computer, it is eventually changed on all the remotes. Now, the keyword there you may have caught on to is eventually. Sometimes SyncThing isn't necessarily fast synchronizing. I truthfully haven't noticed it, but others sometimes complain about the speed. Apparently, this is often due to someone incorrectly configuring SyncThing by messing around with things that ought not to be changed. But sometimes it is due to the way it moves data across the network. It encrypts and breaks the data up into blocks to transfer the data, sort of like BitTorrent, but it's not the same protocol, so no worries there. Ironically, because of the way it transfers data, The more computers you synchronize to, the faster each computer may be updated. Bonus, the data transfer method also means very large file transfers are not a problem. As I said, I want the power, and SyncThing does its best to give it to me with all kinds of options. For example, I have SyncThing watch a directory that contains my active projects. My projects mostly are Git repositories, but it can be a waste of space and bandwidth to synchronize the hidden .git directory, not to mention an occasional Git merge conflict. SyncThing allows one to exclude files and directories by name or even regular expressions per folder and per computer. That way, my local copy of a website under Git can synchronize with a website on a web server, but there it doesn't have those thousands of hidden Git files. I have the power. I have been using SyncThing for several years with no issues and a lot of peace of mind that those things that I wanted synced are done so securely and without issues. As I have changed computers, added and removed folders to be synchronized, even replaced my main Mac after a catastrophic failure, I haven't lost any data that was synchronized. So if you want your own private and secure and free Dropbox-like experience, check out SyncThing.
Well, since I can't do much banter here, I asked Steve if he wants to tell the story of why Dean and Suzanne are invited to our 40th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, so I think it was our 20th wedding anniversary. We were, I think we were having breakfast down in the lobby, kind of a continental breakfast.
Is it bed and breakfast?
Oh yeah, bed and breakfast we were staying at. So it was a good breakfast. And ran across this couple, Dean and Suzanne, and got to know them, and they were fantastic people, really funny. Dean in particular had a hilarious sense of humor. I think he engaged with Allison, and Allison came back with some one of her typical sarcastic comments, and Dean leans over to Suzanne and says, "I think we have a player," because he liked people to spar with. Anyway, so got to know him, and we parted company, I think, and then the next day was our actual anniversary. And so I wanted to take Allison out to a nice, fine restaurant that evening to celebrate. So we happened to run into Dean and Suzanne again that morning. Afterwards, I went to the hotel manager and asked if there were any nice restaurants around. And they said, yeah, sure. And he recommended one, which I booked a reservation at. We show up at the restaurant, and they're waiting for us are Dean and Suzanne, who we just met the day before for the first time. And we said, wow, what are you guys doing here? Are you stalking us? And they said, yes, we are. Apparently they went up to the hotel manager and asked where we had made our reservations and just added themselves to the reservation, not knowing it was our 20th wedding anniversary celebration. So we kind of just let that play. We didn't say anything about that until midway through the meal, and we were having a fabulous time. And we let it drop that, oh, by the way, this was our special private celebration, just to kind of get under their skin a little bit. And they were mortified, but we all had a great time laughing about that too. And it was one of our best evenings out with another couple having dinner.
Yeah, we've had so much fun with them over the years.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. We've done, I think we did our 30th anniversary with them. Is that right?
Yes, I think it was.
And we've done a bunch of stuff with them ever since. But yeah, it was so funny that they actually admitted it, like you said. Yeah. It was hilarious.
The look on their face when they realized, what? Oh, this was your wedding anniversary.
It's like, oops.
But by then we were having such a great time. It was, I'm really glad they did that.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. They we actually there was a 3-room restaurant, And
large rooms.
By the time we left, by the time we looked around and we were making so much noise laughing that our room was entirely empty except for us, and all the other two rooms were full of people.
They'd kind of cleared them out. As people left, they just didn't populate our room with any new guests.
Yes, Kurt, they're coming with us to Sedona for our 40th. So, all right. I'm doing some stuff in the background. Let's listen to this.
Check out SyncThing.
I know I don't have the enthusiasm of expression of the real Allison, so I appreciate you bearing up with listening to me. By the way, services like 11.io cost money, and if you appreciate the work I did to help Allison out, maybe you could throw her $1 or $2 by going to podfeet.com/Patreon or to podfeet.com/PayPal. Thanks, and let's get on with the show.
Oops, did I say Sedona? Sorry, Sedona was where we met them. We're going to the Santa Ynez Valley wine tastings to Ballard.
Yeah, I think the wine's a little better there than in Sedona. Sedona isn't known for their vineyards.
No. Yeah, Sedona's beautiful.
Pal. Thanks, and let's get on with the show.
Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Busschots. How's it going today, Bart?
It is going good today. I managed to...
Okay, let me pause this. Al, that's enough. You don't need to do it constantly.
I think people here know by now, Al.
I think they got the
message.
Good job.
Yes, thank you.
Enough.
I set out with the aim of doing a 2.5-hour cycle, and I got home and it said 2:30:31. So out by 31 seconds. I think that's a pretty good estimate.
Nice. That's good.
Yes.
It's actually raining here again.
Oh, wow. I've been dry all week.
We passed our annual rainfall in 2 months.
Right. On the whole, given you've had a drought for like a decade, I guess that's good.
Yeah, except for those poor people up in the mountains. There's people who haven't been dug out yet. They've been stuck up there for weeks now. Yeah, it's not great, but yeah, yay, no drought.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's see. So I think I burped into the camera, into the mic.
Was it a gravelly burp?
Around 6 minutes in. So 6 and 15 would be 21. Is that right?
I'm kind of curious what a burp looks like here.
Well, yeah, let's see.
And by learning the secrets, and so
sure,
a lot of people would have been suffering from the same issue of endpoint security. It will check that everything's okay and only then allow you log into work resources. So it's effectively an extra factor of authentication. The factor being your machine is not virus riddled.
It's weird. I can't hear.
Well, turn his audio off.
Yeah. Make sure to turn it back on.
Yeah. That's weird. That's a background.
I don't hear anything. Sure. No. That was when I knocked over my bottle. I had that one too. I was going to do. But maybe it was back in one of these. Yeah. Okay. I did not contribute much. Right.
This sounds so odd, displaced from Bart's
smidge. I mean, you could be running Windows XP or something, right? Nope. If I burped, the burp didn't come through because it was right before that can rattle.
I'm not sure we wanted to hear it.
Right. Is that the one you made, Kevin? Oh, Patty Stitch for you. You were working on one. What happened to it?
Maybe he's still working it.
I want to see yours. All right. Wait till you guys hear the ending. The ending's so funny. Okay, let's see. I should unmute Bart, huh?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
I did. Thanks, Bart.
Excellent. Right, folks. Until next time, stay patched so you stay secure.
Okay. And there we go.
I didn't hear that sound hilarious. What ending are you referring to? Oh, this ending.
Okay, and bring in the music. Here we go. We are not going to go late tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, put you over there. All right, let's see how that goes.
Stay patched so you stay secure.
That's going to wind this up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeet.com anytime you like? If you have a question or a suggestion, just send it on over. You can follow me on Mastodon at podfeet@chaos.social. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. If you want to join the conversation, you can join our Slack community at podfeet.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely Nosilla castaways. You can support the show at podfeet.com/Patreon or with a one-time donation at podfeet.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. That's a bit of a contrast.
Wasn't that great?
That
was so funny.
One thing that just occurred to me, when you were working with Bill's post where you lost the audio,
yeah,
I saw you do a shift at one point, and I didn't see you shift it back. I know this is a little late to mention it, but check the beginning of Bill's post.
Okay, let's see, where is Bill? Oh, I can go to Bill here.
Review for us.
Greetings, Allison.
That's fine.
Let me check the other end of it. Whee! Looks pretty good.
Sync thing.
I know I don't have the enthusiasm of expression of.
It's harsh coming in, isn't it?
It is a little harsh.
I wonder if I can fade it
Out
in.
sync thing.
I know I don't have the.
No, that just sounds weird.
Now, I'm curious for words like NosillaCast. Did it pronounce that correctly the first time through?
Yeah, so I trained it with 35 minutes of content, and in that content, I said NosillaCast.
Okay.
So it learned that word, I think.
What did you train it on? You just read a few of your blog posts? Or?
No, see, that was the problem. That's why I had to pay for the service. You can read into it for free, but you have to pay for it if you want to upload content. I didn't want to upload this voice.
Oh, I see.
Would have replicated this voice, right?
What did you upload? I'm curious.
I found an episode. I don't remember which episode it was, but I had to go back a long ways to find one that I wasn't gravelly. It was like October or something.
Wow.
What I wanted was a whole show where it was all me, nobody else. So I got 35 minutes worth, and you can upload a lot of samples, but each one has to be less than 10 megabytes. So I chopped it up into 4 segments and uploaded it.
Okay. Cool.
So Kevin seems intent that we should do a chapter mark count. Okay. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh.
What?
Whoa, hang on. Oh, geez, and I didn't. No, there you go. I don't have a chapter mark for security bits. Good job, Kevin.
All right, Kevin comes through.
I don't care what anybody says. You are...
he earned his pay tonight.
Not worthless. Yeah, but I need to go get the link, and you don't have it.
What do you mean I don't have it?
It wasn't in the show notes because I had forgotten to post it. But I posted it now.
Security bits?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a placeholder, but not
yeah. Let's see. Let me go fix that. Edit that. Fix that. Actually, no. That one. Okay, so now I can do the...
Can I update?
Do what?
Have you put it? Have you updated the blog post or just your?
I haven't copied it. I haven't pushed it up to the website. So you can update, but it won't be there.
Got it.
Okay. But we can count that as though there is one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double your pay. Sausage and ducks.
Yes.
Not to be confused with duck sausage.
8 with including support the show.
This looks like a little bit long of a gap.
Get on with the show.
I don't know. It's pretty good. There we go. All right. I loved it when my boss would say, "You are not worthless." All right. I think we are good to go.
Yeah. I think it's
5:40. I know it's
going to
early.
be a short one.
Gargle with some peanut butter whiskey. I do have peanut butter whiskey that Mr. Ed brought to me, so I could.
Yes. What a kind gift. It keeps on giving.
Yes.
Because that's not something you drink real, in large quantities. It's kind of a sipping whiskey or gargling whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce, for the kind wishes. That's very nice of you. Yeah. What I always say when I tell people how long we've been married is I haven't killed him yet. We haven't killed each other yet.
We're working on it.
Follow with the jelly chaser. All right, everybody. I think we are good. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to stop talking and go find some. Usually rye whiskey is what helps my throat feel better. Say goodbye, Steve.
Good night, Gracie. Have a nice week, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Rose.